He never talked about the war very much.
Strangely enough, that people that go through it don't talk much about it.
Mm-hmm.
I never asked him some special questions. We've all seen this picture of Douglas MacArthur when he returned to the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
When he waded through the water, Pete was on the beach.
Oh, really?
Had been there 5 days when MacArthur waded ashore.
I had no idea.
I just don't know how to navigate it. You did all the.
I was telling Kevin about how we used to come to your house when we were little, and you had Bucky.
Bucky,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that. I promised Keith a dog. And as soon as my first wife and I were divorced, and I knew where I was going, I bought another home and got Keith a dog. And we had a 40-foot deck out on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I had fenced off a small area for a lockup place for Bucky.
Mm-hmm. I remember it.
He never spent one night in that lockup space. But you and Dave were over there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was Boss Hog,
You were Boss Hog.
and I don't know, your name Dixie or what?
Daisy.
Daisy.
Daisy Duke.
I'd lock you up in the
That's
jail.
right.
You'd both escape. I'd put you back in jail.
Yep.
The stuff you remember.
I know. We love playing Dukes of Hazzard. I remember that spot in the back. And I remember Keith's waterbed because we thought that was the coolest.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you would make us poached eggs.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was my specialty.
Yep, poached
So
eggs.
where'd you find this, Stacy?
I just went to that original tree.
All right. Well, show Liz because I don't know how to get back. I don't know how to get it back to Pete too. And pardon the cracked iPad.
That's my grandmother.
So what do I do?
So this one I found on this Rushton family tree. So you can some of the leaves lead you to other family trees.
Okay.
So that's where it came from. So then you'll probably
So the Russians were her side of the family?
Papa, who were the Rushtons?
On mother's side of the
Yeah.
family.
Were they the ones? There was some. I feel like my grandfather would say something about when anybody would take a nap, or something that was the Rushton side. Something about falling asleep.
Probably so.
And the Rushtons, I don't know. It
They were
sounds,
dark.
that's all I remember is
They are
associated with
narcolepsy.
Rushton. He'd be like, "Oh shoot, they got Rushton, and that's why they're sleeping." And I don't know. I don't know what that was about.
The
but-
Rushtons were mother's side of the family. And Uncle Peth and Aunt Nora Rushton. They had 3 boys. They all 3 went to Wofford.
Oh really?
All 3 took ROTC.
Mm-hmm.
And when Pete was in basic training in Alabama, Prince Albert Rushton was his commanding officer.
Oh wow.
And Pete would spend the weekends with his CO.
Mm-hmm.
And the CO told him that when you ship out, I can keep you as my mail clerk.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete said, I told him, I train with these men, I go where they go. And that's when he got his wound.
Mm-hmm.
He was manning a 50 caliber machine gun. And Japanese 2-engine bomber Betty flew over, and he knew he released the bomb because you could hear the engine change.
Mm-hmm.
And he dived into a foxhole, and his head and shoulders got below ground level. But when the bomb exploded, he took shrapnel in his butt, in his legs, and his heel. And then he was lying on the beach, waiting to be transferred to a hospital ship. He said, I'm 19 years old. I'm too young to die.
Yeah.
What's the age difference between you two?
21 months. Same as the age difference between
I thought it was fewer than that.
between you and
Right.
Keith.
Okay. I thought it was fewer than that for some reason. Like 15. Were there siblings that were closer than 21? Am I just getting confused?
No. Wallace and I were 2 years and 1 day. Most of us just under 2 years.
I'm probably thinking maybe some of your siblings, because Mark's 1 of 6. Are y'all some 15 or so months apart? No?
Oh, my brother was 1 year younger than me. He's
Because your grandmother was going to Converse College
That's what
Mm-hmm.
while we were at Wofford. I was still at Wofford then.
That's right.
Pete had met her and was dating her.
that's the day we should have started.
Good Catherine.
And
Hmm?
Good Catherine.
Yeah.
she was Ed Owen from Batesburg and a 1935 Ford convertible with a rumble seat.
Mm-hmm.
And they were a drive-in restaurant, and Pete and Liv in the rumble seat. And Liv was planning on going to a South Carolina football game that weekend with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete was complaining about that. And she says, we're not dated, we're not engaged.
Mm-hmm.
He took his KAPN off. He said, consider yourself engaged. That's how he proposed. Consider yourself engaged.
How romantic.
It was, yeah. He was known for his romance.